Cases where if we own it, if it's a fee title, well, now we're gonna have to, it's gotta be appraised, they're gonna have to, buy it from the county, so this application fee is on top of that. But just a flat application fee from, to be paid by the resident or whoever's applying for this. That's what we're trying to figure out, and I don't even have a number. I've gone to, looked at other counties, I mean, it can vary from $200 to $600. But ours is just, it just says payable, and there's no amount that they pay.
If they pay the application fee, are we gonna be the first line to go out and do the work that you just stated?
That's well, so if
Or
they.
we still encourage them to bring it to us?
If they're gonna, in my opinion, if they're gonna pay a flat fee, which is gonna be substantially, significantly lower than if we take that on.
Sure.
They do the legwork, they still gotta pay the fee, versus, getting.
How much is the fee, Brad?
We don't have.
That's
one.
what
I don't, I mean, what
It just says-
if you charge, nothing going in previously?
We just been doing
to this? Okay.
Bobby Hall works on this quite a bit.
Yeah.
Okay,
Survey
what,
calls.
what the survey costs, they have to do that.
Yeah.
They prepare a plat of the, and it meets our guidelines. Also too, we have to post on the site, so the survey crew or someone goes out, posts that
Yeah.
there's a public hearing, cause you have to have a public hearing, and they post on the site, and then, take pictures, keep that in the file. Marina puts out the posting, I think Marina does it.
She does, and yeah, so we've got to.
Pay for that posting.
Because the Seabreeze or whoever else, they don't do this for free. It's hundreds of dollars.
And then, so we do that, then it's just Brad's running it, taking care of it, his administration. In my opinion, $1,000 is nothing to ask for.
The appraisal cost, if needed, will be on top of.
No, they,
Yeah,
That's a code and I don't see it.
well, the code says may charge something. It doesn't say you shall. It says you may charge something. So I mean, but they still have to, if it's, when he says fee, or say it's a road that we've been maintaining for 20 years, we have some cost in that.
Yeah.
And that we need to not recoup all of it, but, what's the value of that chip seal road at this point in time?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, can we do, like we do our engineering, when we do our DRC and stuff like that, say $1,000, and then we eat up to that, and then if we don't make it that, we refund it?
That's just gonna.
If we take on
Yeah,
all the legwork, the title work,
Well, no,
Now, the title work, they need to do that.
yeah,
I say keep it
but
minimal.
any cost we incur,
Yeah.
because your time is valuable, Bobby's time is valuable, besides their legwork that they do, we need to have a fee that we can eat and eat up, and then what we don't use, give back to them.
yeah, that's like whenever we require a $1,000 deposit for our drainage fee.
Yes.
That's, anything, so we'll take from that, and then anything that exceeds, then we'll have to invoice for that.
I'd prefer keeping it as low as possible and then just coming back in 6 months or in a year and just reevaluating if we feel like we're too low. I don't know, you said the range is $200 to $600. I'd
That's just
rather
for
just
the
say.
application fee.
No, I know that.
Yeah,
I know that, for the application
Yeah.
fee though.
Commissioner, just stop and think.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not sure what some of the acreage we get. Some of them, I know one right now is pending, and the property that they're getting, it might be what, a half acre, 2 acres, acre, and that property going for $25,000 an acre. I mean, they're getting a value for that.
Yeah, and I see that, Bobby, but in some of these cases, what I'm seeing, and we met with this in the meeting, is, if we abandon these roads and they revert back to the owner of a large 18-acre tract and they turn around and sell it to a developer, that developer's gonna come in and he's fixing to develop all those roads for the county. So we're gonna get a huge benefit. Increased assessed values with more development. We're gonna get roads built for us, not by us. And so I mean, there's gonna be these one-offs, which one house, and I see your point, Bobby, but I think there are a lot of these cases, or there's more of these cases coming where there's large tracts of land that have several, alleys that have been unimproved for 120 years,
Yep.
Well, you take
It's Stoll areas where
the
we're.
Winnie suburbs and Winnie town side, You're talking about 1900s,
Yeah.
early 1900s,
Yeah.
and there's 16,000 acres of them.
Yeah. And if they're gonna provide us those surveys, and they're gonna provide us the titles, and we're gonna just review that, you know, again, I don't know where to set the fee, but I don't mind setting somewhere between a $200 to $600 number and just coming back and reevaluating it. If we're gonna have to go out and have to survey though, Bobby, I agree with you. If we're gonna have to survey or stake, if we take on the responsibility, then
We
it
don't,
may be
we do
a cost.
not want to do that.
No, we don't wanna do that, but that fee would go up if that was the case, is what I'm saying.
So we want to continue doing it like we are now.
Absolutely.
Make
Well, right
them-
now, it's just, there's no cost.
No, I mean,
that's-
continue letting them do all the legwork and then,
And in the last decade, how many times have you run across this? 3, 4?
That's what I'm saying, it's rare, but it got brought up because a couple of things. The Winnie Stoll area, there's so many unimproved right-of-ways that were never taken into county maintenance. They're just, they're open to the public, it's just, they're either full of trees and it's just, but here recently, we've got three, 2 in Stoll, Winnie Stoll, another one, in Double Bayou.
Yeah.
But, you know, Commissioner Dagley's certainly has a point. It'd be better to abandon these things, not, you know, charge $2,000 or whatever.
Yeah.
Let them do that, and if we have a developer coming in now, all those unimproved right-of-ways that did not have a tax base, now does.
Yeah, that's all those abandoned roads go back into the size of the
Yep.
track, and now all of a sudden
Yep.
they're paying taxes on those.
The Winnie suburbs though, all the roads are easements, therefore the property lines go to it, so they're already paying taxes on that road.
Pat, any motion?
Yeah, so I'm gonna move for $200 and an applicant, accepts all costs associated with abandonment.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Hammond, second by Commissioner Dagley. Any other questions, comments? Those in favor? Opposed, motion carries. Thank you, Brad.
Thank y'all very much.
Thanks, Brad.
4.4, discuss and consider approving $108,590 to TxDOT for material costs related to a drainage project on FM 3180.
Good morning, yes. So this is just the cost that we would be paying TxDOT for all the materials for their work. This is a drainage project that is definitely needed. It will take water away and out of the subdivisions and reroute it around them. I see this as a big benefit to the county.
Judge, what this is gonna do is probably keep a lot of water off about 150 homes. Wouldn't you think, Commissioner Dagley, when we looked at that a few months back? And this is a huge deal for the west side of the county. If any kind of drainage concerns, it's gonna alleviate a whole bunch for everybody, and really looking forward to getting this project complete.
Yeah.
Motion by Commissioner Ty,
Second.
second by Commissioner Hammond.
Yeah.
Questions?
No, I'll reiterate, this is a, continuation of a roadside ditch expansion project. And it's right now, water goes underneath 2354, 3180 at this location and goes through about 16,000 linear feet of neighborhoods before it goes in the bio. This is gonna reroute that water, and it's only gonna go about 1,000 feet into the bio, and it's gonna stay in the right of way instead of go through these
Yeah, it's not gonna
neighborhoods.
cut through the
So it's
subdivision,
gonna
stay in the
increase
right of way.
capacity within these 3 or 4 subdivisions. And TxDOT's on board. It's taken us, 6 and 8 months?
Yes.
To get it approved, and they're gonna basically split the cost with us. So it's a huge, it's a big win for the county.
And they mentioned we could possibly have this done here pretty quick.
I'm pushing them to get it done before hurricane season. They said, to let legal know, so Dwayne, you'll probably be seeing a contract from them in the next 30 days. I gotta get Austin to approve it, and they'll send us a contract, so, yeah.
Any other questions? Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. All right, it's 10:01 a.m. We're going to recess out of regular session, go into the public hearing to discuss and consider the adoption of the Chambers County Thoroughfare Plan. Zach?
Yes, so this is for the public hearing on the adoption of the public thoroughfare plan. If y'all have any questions or the public has any questions, feel free to ask. I have Kinley Horn here as well with me. They created the plan. They're willing and happy to answer any questions.
Any public comments on the Thoroughfare Plan? Hearing none, we will adjourn out of public hearing. Go back into regular session, still 10:01 a.m. 4.2, discuss and consider adopting Chambers County Thoroughfare Plan.
Yes, so this is the thoroughfare plan that Kimley Horn and HGAC have been working together. I think it's a very big benefit to the county. Now, the way the alignments look, they are not set in stone. They are always willing and subject to change. I have the cross sections here if y'all want to see what actual ones will look like. These cross sections are also subject to change depending on situations. So
It's a plan.
yeah, it's a plan. It's helping the county basically plan for the future.
That's right.
Yeah, and we've done these before, but it's been a long time.
Yes.
So moved, Judge.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Dagley, second by Commissioner Hammond. No questions? Those in favor? Opposed, the motion carries. 4.5. Discuss and consider accepting Rain Tree Section 4, roadways and drainage in the county maintenance.
Yes, so the developer has requested that the county take over Raintree Section 4. They are well above the 50% build out as well as the 2 years. They're over the 2 years. We've done our inspections on it and they corrected the minor problems that was out there. I recommend we accept it. I have no problem with it.
So moved, Judge.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Tyus, second by Commissioner Dagley. Questions?
Are those, that's all open ditch, isn't it?
That one is storm sewer, but they are not in a mud.
Any other questions?
Unfortunately.
Those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. 4.6. Discuss and consider accepting Winfrey Road Section 124 in the county maintenance.
Yes, so we've been working with the developer on this one as well. I know myself and Tice have been in great contact with them. They have done some of the corrections for getting this roadway accepted, or getting this subdivision accepted into county maintenance.
So moved, Judge.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Tyus, second by Commissioner Gore. Questions? Those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. 4.7, discuss the number of homes in subdivision with one entrance.
Yes, so I know Commissioner Gore and myself have talked. He had asked me to put this item on there to kind of have all y'all here and discuss the number of homes per single entrance for our subdivision regulations.
Do you have any recommendation?
I am looking at y'all for recommendations. We have it as 100 right now. I've spoken with other counties. The recommendation would range from all over. I've seen 30. I have seen 200. I have seen 500. It just depends on kind of the county, whoever's in charge at the time. I'm looking at y'all, kind of what y'all are seeing out there from developers or hearing out as well.
Anywhere 350 to 500. 350 is fine, I'm fine with that.
I've spoken to Ron Hosapple. I know he's not here today, but he told me yesterday, I asked him about this item, and he told me he didn't have an opinion either. Now, he just said he has not had an issue at all, in his opinion, so far. So he doesn't have really an opinion on where that number needs to fall, so he was gonna leave it up to us as well. So I'm trying to get as many experts as I can to give me an opinion, but it sounds like I'm.
The concern is if you have multiple exits, two exits, then emergency vehicles can get there. If you have one and it's blocked, then that's the end of the story.
Yeah, I do think if we raise the number, we'll have to look at, how the entrance is constructed and different things like that, just to help prevent like the larger number of subdivisions. Or not prevent them, but help with the access. Now, that's once we find that number, we can always work with
Do
them.
you mean like larger robust entrances that are wider
Yes,
lanes
like-
for in case there is an issue, you still have
Yes.
a lane of
That is exactly
emergency
correct.
access maybe
Yeah, it's doing something like a boulevard section for
for first
a
couple
big
hundred
majority
feet.
of that entrance, and then that allows whether one side can be shut down, you can still run traffic in and out.
Remember also too, TxDOT, if they front on TxDOT, they have those restrictions of, spacing between, I think, Zach, on 55 mile an hour, it's 430 some odd feet,
425.
425, yes.
425. So there's a problem there.
I mean, I'm good with 350.
Is that your motion?
That's my motion.
We cannot make a motion just yet, this
Oh,
is just
no,
for
we set
discussion.
public hearing, yeah.
The next item will help
Okay, so
along
no
that
mo-
process, yes.
Alright, so no action on 4.7. And then 4.8, discuss, consider setting a public hearing for May 27th, 2025, 10 a.m. regarding the number of homes per single entrance allowed.
So this is the continuation of the discussion item, and then this will help get us that number set.
So is there any scientific study out there anywhere about how many homes? I mean, I'm not for just
There's-
pulling a number out there.
There's
So-
not really,
Look,
there's not really
I mean,
any.
You know what I
state
mean?
of Texas says
Nobody came
1,000.
here, but you know.
So what does the state do? I mean, does the state have a number?
The state has 1,000.
1,000?
Now, a lot of, pretty much a lot in every county has dropped that number.
Right.
Now, there's some that do follow the 1,000, but a good majority of them have dropped that.
Do you know what our neighboring
something.
counties are, like Liberty and
So,
Jefferson?
I don't remember Liberty's off the top of my head. Jefferson, I think theirs is 150. And then Harris County is 30. And then Fort Bend does not technically have a set number. However, they go off of the master plan. And as long as the master plan has 2 entrances, they're good with basically any number. Now, if you only have 1 entrance, then they make you do a bunch of other requirements, engineering study wise.
No, Zach and I met with developers multiple times, so I mean, we have looked into this here and had multiple meetings with Jay Ashley and Sanders and all those guys, and just that's reason we're just trying to come to a number, and I've discussed the number with them, discussed it with Zach, and just back and forth.
We came up with these numbers, that we've got established now based upon some good data that Corey had collected in our first year. I'm kinda like Tommy, I don't wanna be winging this right now. We had an ingress and egress set up with 100 homes in there for a reason. And I know safety was the #1 priority, but I'm kinda like Tommy, I need a little bit more data right here before I start jumping this up.
And honestly, at the end of the day, the builders are worried about their bottom line.
That's right.
Trust me, I get that.
I know.
And
I know you
didn't
do.
pull- I didn't pull this number out of the air.
Yeah, I know you do.
And I've discussed it, and this here's been on the table for months, and I'm just now bringing it back. So, I mean, everybody's had this time to look at it for months,
And I've had those same conversations,
yeah.
Jimmy,
I mean,
with those same developers, and I've asked the same question Commissioner Hammond's asked is, give me something from an engineering firm that shows what you suggest.
they
I have
can
an
suggest-
engineer that hasn't, that just says, I mean, here, there's really no number. I mean, we have a long list of engineers on our approved professional services list. I would strongly advise the court before May 27th to really give us a spreadsheet. I'd like to know
Yeah.
every county that touches our county, what those numbers are.
I
if
can
any.
get that
Yeah, I
easily
mean, if
before
any.
the next one.
And then I would like some recommendations from some of our firms of what they're seeing across, you know. And I mean, I would say that, you know, go quarter Kimberly Horn on the hallway here in a second and
Yeah.
see what they see. I mean, they just did, our thoroughfare plan, and I'll guarantee you their neighborhood and traffic guys probably have opinion, that would probably give us a pretty good opinion too. So, you know, I think it's important
Yeah, I
because
can-
we can always grant waivers.
Yeah.
We could, on these long narrow tracks that we understand that there's an issue and they just can't make that threshold with 2 entrances. If we see that there is a true need for this development,
Yeah.
we could always say, let's put it on court and just give them a waiver.
And that's the reason I had this put on court, so we can discuss
Yep.
it and get some kind of, something moving forward, because
I agree.
we've been sitting.
Well-
on it for
well,
a
since
while,
that-
so I'm totally fine.
Well, since our conference that we went to, and we heard some of those other counties saying, oh, we're at 1,000, and we're at 500, and we're at 400, and
Yeah.
so we're at 100.
With none of those
Yeah.
numbers.
I mean, we're the 6th fastest growing county in the country.
Yeah.
And mid-county and you know, from mid-county to Winnie is gonna be an explosive growth, we know that, they're growing. And, we gotta have, it has to be some sort of controlled chaos, and we gotta have some idea of what we're
Well,
doing,
there's
so we
100
just
or
do.
200 or whatever it
Yeah.
is, we need to know.
Yeah.
Alright, so I'll enter, I'll entertain a motion to set the public hearing.
So moved.
Yeah, second.
Motion by Commissioner Hammond, second by Commissioner Dagley. Any other questions? Those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. 4.9, discuss and consider approving the order of the Commissioners Court pursuant to Texas Transportation Code 254.008 for the removal of blockages from private ditches. That,
Yes, so this is the order for the end of Texana Drive, that section. This is for us to remove and then install a culvert. There's already two existing there. This third one will help the flow go through there. That is the natural drainage way through there. We've had a resident that's not necessarily been the most cooperative before. This order, once we get it approved, we'll then send out the notices for 30 days, and then that allows us to go in there and do the work.
So moved, Judge.
Second.
motion by Commissioner Tice, second by Commissioner Dagley. Questions?
Hammond.
Hammond. Got COVID brain from last week, so.
Okay, Brian.
Diane, any questions? Hearing none, those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you,
PJ out there, right?
He's on the way.
Okay. Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, man. Morning, BJ.
Morning,
Judge, Commissioners, how are you?
5.1, discuss, consider Orsted Project Wharf, Chapter 312, tax abatement application.
Thank you, Judge, Commissioners. Orsted is developing a $1.2 billion e-methanol facility. Chambers County has a site that's been shortlisted. This is a competitive site, and as part of the consideration for due diligence on their part, they've requested that the court consider approving or accepting and approving a Chapter 312 tax abatement. Specifically, as relates to Chapter 312, it allowed for further negotiations for tax abatement from other taxing entities, namely Lee College and the Goose Creek School District. And so what is presented to you today is an application to be accepted and approved, and the request to establish a reinvestment zone at the nearest court date, which would be May 8th of this year. Glad to answer any questions.
Questions?
This is the project that's up off of Cedar Bayou, north
Yes.
of 99, south of Covestro, correct?
That is
What's
correct.
it, Finger Lakes?
Finger Lakes, West Bay Road.
That's right. So moved, Judge.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Dagley, second by Commissioner Tice. Questions? Those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. 5.2, discuss.
Pardon me, Judge, could we just
Go ahead.
have action on establishing or making a request to conduct a public hearing for the reinvestment zone on May 8th, coincident with this? I'm sorry, the 13th, I'm sorry.
So you'd like to include that in your, in the
In the
motion?
motion, yes.
You want to amend your motion?
I'll amend my motion, Judge.
Amend your second?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I got amended motion, amended second. Include the public hearing for May the 13th
At 10
at 10
a.m.
a.m.
Thank you for the correction, Laura.
Got that down?
Yes, sir.
All right, now, those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. 5.2, discuss, consider 2025 contract, Baytown, West Chambers County Economic Development Foundation. BJ.
Thank you, Judge, Commissioners, it's that time of the year to request for consideration for renewal of the contract with the foundation. The foundation is celebrating its 39th anniversary this year, and for most of that time period, it's had a relationship with the court in Chambers County, and so what's presented today is consideration for renewal of our contract.
So moved, Judge.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Dagley, second by Commissioner Gore. Questions? So what do y'all do for us? No. We do appreciate the relationship with you.
Thank you, Judge.
Keep you on your toes, BJ.
Thank you, BJ.
I know we do.
I got a motion and a second. Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. Thank you, BJ.
Thank you, Judge, Commissioners.
All right, Parks and Recreation, 6.1. Discuss, consider approving quality courts and outdoors for 3 windscreen replacements. Don McLeod Sports Complex, the amount of $13,050.
Yes.
Don, good morning.
The reason for this one being on court is he wants to go with the higher bid, just making sure. He's got some good work out of this company. It's about $2,000 to $3,000 higher than the other bid we had. That's why I asked him to put it on court. The only reason it's here.
Good morning, Commissioners, Judge. Yeah, this is for three of the fields there. The middle windscreen was torn, so we're gonna come back with a lighter windscreen with more breathing holes for it, just like we did it. We did one of these at Fort Anawak Park, and it's in good shape now. And then we did one of these at Yeldeviller, and it's in good shape. So they're also gonna come in and tie down all other windscreens at that park that are not tied down or that have broken with a thicker strap. So
Is the quality of the screen better with this company versus the other, or is it the service that you're?
the service is a lot better.
The service, they
Yes.
come out and they're
Yeah.
very responsive versus
Yes.
the other company?
Yes. BSN is a national company, so they'll have to hire a subcontractor to come do it. Quality Outdoors is the one that did our pickleball courts, and we work with them.
Regularly?
Yeah. And they're just outside of Houston.
Lauren told me they don't like pickleball courts are packed.
Yes, sir.
My kids asked me to order paddles.
We need motion. So moved.
Second.
Thank you, Tommy.
I heard they'll be contacting Commissioner Gore
Second
here
by
shortly
Commissioner Gore.
for some more courts.
Any other questions? Those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. 6.2, discuss and consider approving game time for the purchase and installation. New bleachers at Yeldeviller Sports Complex, Field 5, in the amount of $38,836.64.
Yes, sir. This is for Field 5. We've done a lot of repairs to that field. New fencing, the new lights just finished up. We put down a concrete pad. We took up some old bleachers, so this is just another amenity for that field. And it should be the end of the for that field to be caught up with all the other ones.
Motion by Commissioner Gore, second by Commissioner Dagley. Me and Commissioner Hammond had grandsons playing over there a couple weeks ago. Really nice. Oh,
Need some
even though-
sunscreens.
Even though we lost, we did something.
Yeah, we got beat up pretty bad.
All right, got a motion and a second. Those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. 6.3. Discuss and consider approving HKR Ranches LLC for the construction of the restrooms at Cedar Hill Park in the amount of $19,003.
Yes, sir. Just restrooms there in very bad shape. Just going back with this same type of restroom.
So moved, Judge.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Gore, second by Commissioner Tice. Any questions? Those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. 6.4, discuss and consider approving Craftsman for the replacement of slide at Fort Anawak Park Playground, amount of $12,119.79.
Yes, sir. This slide's been broken for about probably 3 months, so we've been waiting on a quote. The slide they don't make anymore, so they're having to put a newer model slide on there. We've let the public know. We let our Facebook page know. We've marked it off weekly to keep the kids off, but it's in really bad shape. So we're doing this for the safety factor.
So moved, Judge.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Tice, second by Commissioner Hammond. Questions? Those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. 6.5, discuss and consider purchasing holding pens and alleyways behind the bucking chutes at Winnie Arena from Preferred in an amount of $55,583.12.
Yes, sir. And this is a co-op purchase. And this is just, we've already purchased the stalls, and I think Commissioner Gore, this is the kind of wrap it up. What we're doing there?
Yes, sir.
So.
We got some. And some big discussions with some events that's wanting to come and utilize that arena for the the shoots and everything that we're putting into, it's gonna be a big boost to that community as far as tax revenue and everything that's coming in.
Yes.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Gore, second by Commissioner Hammond. Any questions?
So this will facilitate a full-scale rodeo now,
Yes, sir.
when we get this done?
Yes, sir. And we can take it down and move it to White Park if they need to utilize it and wherever.
And Prefer's the best. It really
Yeah,
is.
no doubt.
Alright, any other questions? Those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Maintenance of buildings, 7.1, discuss and consider selecting Kirksey Architecture for engineering and architectural services for the new East Annex project based on our RFQs, submission and selection committee review. Morning, Mike.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Yeah, we're bringing this back. It was originally tabled March 25th. This will basically bring this back into the fold, start official fee negotiation and effort to move forward.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Gore, second by Commissioner Tice. Questions?
So why was it tabled the first time?
For lack of a better word, I think it's just a knee-jerk reaction.
A little confusion as to what was going on, Commissioner, making sure that we had them selected before we started talking fees and making sure that we were all on the same page.
I think also part of that was they showed up with 12% fee
Well,
the first time,
I don't think it was a discussion yet.
unofficially.
I don't think it was a discussion at that.
Yeah, it's pretty rough, so.
So we approve the professional services, they work up a fee, submit to the fee, and if we need to pivot, we can always pivot to the next bid if we don't, if they don't
Come
wanna,
back, yes,
so this will be on court again to approve,
yes, sir.
Yes.
the fee part.
The fee part, yeah.
I know that's the part of the court that some of it, we have a rub on is what the fees are on the architectural firm, so we'll get to review the fees, that is the next stage of this process.
Absolutely. So your committee will review and bring it over to you guys. Yes, sir.
Perfect.
We have a commissioner on the committee, right? So there should be some discussion. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Alright, any other questions?
Judge, I'd like to make a suggestion that on 7172, that we are consistent for posterity on what we're calling this, because one says East Annex, two says Winnie Annex. And so when you go back to research Commissioner Court minutes, it makes it pretty rough.
That's a great point. Yes, ma'am.
Totally.
We'll
So
make
let's
sure.
be consistent in what we call these buildings, please.
Yes, ma'am.
What are we calling it?
East Annex.
Alright, you got that, Mike?
Got it.
I mean, I'm not
I know.
just
And
saying
I'll
that.
let them know what the test. So they'll
Oh,
put it in
absolutely.
there. They'll
Yep.
put it in there.
Y'all
Agreed.
have us request something and we have to search it
Yeah.
25 ways,
That's the next
so,
one. Good.
thank you.
Alright, those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
All right.
One opposition?
Yes.
One no by Commissioner Hammond.
Thank you.
Alright, 7.2, discuss and consider approving going out for RFPs to hire CMAR for both Legion Hall and Winnie Annex, or East Annex.
Yeah, what is,
Winnie East Annex.
That'd be East Annex, yes.
That's the East End.
Point.
That's just following along with the process.
So moved, Judge.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Dagley, second by Commissioner Gore. Any questions?
This is important to get the CMR on board, because one of the things is, and George can attest to this and so can Mike, is when you have the CMAR on board at design phase, that construction contractor can work with the architect, no matter who they are, and say, listen, this is what the county is used to, this is what the county needs, so they don't need, there's a really benefit to having that CMAR person in there to control costs and control longevity of items we put in these things, and I think that's important to have
For lack of a better term, it'll streamline the process.
streamline the process, and it will, two minds are better than one, is what I'm saying.
I have
So,
another question, Judge. Is there a woman on this committee? Because, as we're designing restrooms, I find that, that.
There are two. There are two.
assessors on the committee.
Thank
So,
you.
yeah.
Okay,
You
Oh,
said
yes,
that,
and the judge, I forgot the judge, JP Morgan.
okay.
there you go. So yes. All right, any other questions, comments, those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. 7.3, discuss, consider approving Arnold Construction proposal for new Beach City restroom in the amount of $114,900.
We did do sealed bids on this one, this was the low bid.
That's correct, but I need to direct your attention in the background that was in the packet. There are three scopes, three individual pieces of this that were not in the original scope of work. We need to add $15K in contingency allowance for septic, water tap, and underground electric. Like I said, that was not an original scope of work. The total award with the allowances would be $129,900.
Still well below the second bid.
Still one below the second bid.
Yes.
Which it would have been in the second bid also, right?
It would be, because
It would have been,
it would be
yes,
apples to
that's
apples.
correct.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So moved.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Dagley, second by Commissioner Tice.
No more porta can in Beach City pretty soon.
129,900.
Awesome.
114,900 plus 15,000 contingency.
129,900 is the total.
Yeah, it's in, like I said, it's in the background information.
City of BC will appreciate the lack of no more porta can in the future.
What's wrong with porta cans?
Well, you know, Judge, it's been there for 25 years.
Yeah, in the
at
middle of the
least.
summer. Alright, got a motion and a second, those in favor? Opposed, motion carries. 7.4, discuss and consider awarding interior upgrades for the original West Annex District Clerk Office, $16,940, Constable Office, $14,760, to Arnold Construction, totaling $31,700. Mike?
Yes, this is 2 of 4 areas of upgrades we're gonna do. And all 4, we have bids, very competitive. Arnold came in lowest for these 2, and instead of getting 2 different contractors working in the whole building, we're gonna assign these 2 with your approval for Arnold and get this work started. We'll bring the other 2 back next court for approval.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Hammond, second by Commissioner Gore. Questions?
No more orange walls.
Does this include the whole?
That's the next.
This phase
Yeah.
don't.
I can't understand why she don't want orange.
We're gonna keep that orange a little bit longer.
Let's do it all. We look very trashy.
Alright, got a motion and a second, any other questions? Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. 7.5, discuss and consider line purchasing, go out for RFPs for CMAR for new Watts Park show barn.
And just following the process.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Gore, second by Commissioner Hammond. Questions? Those in favor? Opposed, motion carries. 7.6, discuss and consider line purchasing, go out for RFPs for CMAR on new sheriff's office training facility.
Same thing.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Dagley, second by Commissioner Tice. No questions, those in favor? Opposed, motion carries. Thank you, Mike. 10.1, discuss and consider approving AED installations at the sports complex, arenas, and community buildings. Good morning, Jeffrey.
Good morning, Judge Commissioners. So today we're here requesting some additional funds. We have some funds in the AED budget. Our goal is to place these AEDs where the public will have access. So 3 of the AEDs will go in the community buildings, the Westside Complex, the Wax Park, and the Winnie Community Building in a standard AED cabinet. The other 5 are gonna be outside in a called a save station, which will have a camera, and as soon as someone opens it up, it starts taking pictures of the individual. So to help speed up that need of an AED when someone does go into cardiac arrest.
It's a really good technology. It notifies when the cabinet's open. It'll notify as soon as it opens, whether it's on purpose or whether it is because of a theft. And it will also assist. It takes live action camera. They're really, really good to have in the public, because sometimes you get kids out playing, they'll open a cabinet, then they realize what they've done, they shut the cabinet, but there's signage up, and it will protect our investment.
Who's it notify?
So however you set it up, but they told me we have people set up, like I could be notified, we could have it tied into the dispatch, they could be notified. So that's kind of the process. So once we get the purchase approved, we'll get it all set up accordingly.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Dagley, second by Commissioner Tice. You have questions, comments?
So you said something about you needed more funding for that?
Yes, sir. So
You didn't have enough?
So we have $14,052 in our budget for AEDs. I need the additional $16,729 for which me and Aaron had talked. He said there is some funds in 091 to cover that, but due to the cost, Chief Hozap asked me to come in before Commissioners Court for the approval.
Is that part of the motion?
It's to approve the
Additional funds.
additional funds and the AED installations. That's what it says on the sports complex arenas.
So add additional funds.
Yes.
All right, got a motion and a second. Any other questions? Those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank y'all.
Speaking of Chief Hozak, I believe mother's got some health issues, see on them. All right, 17.1, discuss and consider approving 2026 TxDOT grant applications and matching approvals. Chief.
Yeah, so we're seeking the court's approval to apply for 2 grants through TxDOT. We've done this for the past 6, 7, 8 years. There is a cost share to it. We use this grant to pay for deputies to be out there in overtime to conduct traffic stops where areas there's a lot of crashes, DWIs, things like that. So we use this overtime project to mitigate some of those. There's 2 grants. There's one that's a CMV, which is commercial vehicles, dump trucks, this kind of stuff. The county match on that is about $2,700, and then the other grant is comp, which is all traffic related, and the county match on that is about $4,400. So it's a 75-25 split. But.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Gore, second by Commissioner Tice. Questions?
Where the funds, the match funds come from?
Their budget.
Is it in the budget?
Yes, sir, so
Okay,
they have
cool.
money in their budget to cover that, the overtime, and then we reimburse.
That's what that's in there for,
to
okay.
cover it, yes, sir.
Great.
So do we budget that annually or is it just in there for overtime?
We kinda,
Do we need to budget annually?
no, I mean, I think we do a pretty good budgeting overtime.
Okay.
We always have extra, and then, you know, when they do their step program, we'll get information, we reimburse the general fund for the grant portion, and then we pay that portion. So it's already kind of built in.
Okay.
Good. All right, any other questions, comments? Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Chief.
Thank y'all.
Fine. We are down to consent. Precinct 4.
Wouldn't have seen that.
None, Judge.
3,
None, sir.
2, 1.
Motion for approval.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Gore, second by Commissioner Hammond. I'll leave this one right alone. Hearing no questions, those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. 10:35 a.m. We will recess to executive session.
Not see him coming.
Personnel, sale, purchase of real property, FMLA extension request, consultation with attorney. All right, court come to order after executive session. Commissioner Tyson, Dagley aren't present. We do have a quorum. And nothing further to come before the court in executive session. What time is it?
12:02.
12:02.
12:02 PM. We are adjourned.